Welcome to R&R, Relationships in Real Estate. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and this is my beautiful, exhausted wife, Corey Silva, running all over the place.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty and Silva Lending, and we've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since the early 2000s, and we're super excited to have you here with us. Thank you so much for hanging around. I know we're running a little late today. I'm running a little late today. I was at our kids' fundraising event that went a little bit over, that was sprung on us last minute that parents could actually go. So I went. Yes. Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. We'll get more into that. Welcome to the final week of January. That's crazy to say.
Flying by.
Final week? What the heck? That's crazy. So the first month of the year is almost over. Oh my goodness. Valentine's Day is coming up. Ooh.
Oh boy. I haven't planned a thing.
That's okay. I don't mind. I feel like Valentine's Day is just another commercialized day for companies to make a lot of your money. So it's all good. Every day I'm filled with love for you, and you're my Valentine every single day.
Aw.
So silly.
All the men out there, you need to get you one of these ladies right here. Let me tell you.
But a new purse would be nice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Tanya's here with us. Hi, Tanya.
Hey, Tanya.
Thanks for joining us. Anyone else who's watching, please drop a comment below so we can say hello to you. But if you want to be discreet, that's fine too. We really appreciate you being here. So as you know,
thank you.
Chris just said he hasn't planned anything for Valentine's Day. Does anybody else have something coming up? I'd be interested in knowing.
You know, it's so funny because for people that don't know, years ago, Corey used to work at a flower shop at Charmaine's Flowers, and before that, Conroy's.
Yes.
Right? And so she got to see the ins and the outs of like the flower industry. So she would always tell me, don't ever buy me roses during Valentine's Day. It is such a ripoff. Right? Didn't you, right?
Yes. They mark the prices up. And I mean, Charmaine never did this, but Conroy's did. I have a bad taste in my mouth about Conroy's, but they would sell like old flowers just to get rid of them.
That's
They're
no
like,
bueno.
Yeah, I didn't like that. So, but Charmaine always took the utmost care of her clients, and I loved working with her. She sent out beautiful fresh roses all the time. But yes, there is a high demand during Valentine's Day, so the suppliers and the wholesalers mark up the prices, and then they have to pass it on to the consumer at the actual florist.
To those poor suckers like me.
I know. So
big,
he never buys me roses.
Big shout out to Zephaniah. He's in the house.
Hey, Zeph. Thanks for joining us. Excited for you all.
But I do buy you flowers, and I'm sad because Charmaine retired a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And before it was so easy, I would just call Charmaine. I'm like, can you just put some together for Corey? You know what she likes.
Yes.
And that was it. It was that easy. Mm-hmm. It was great. But, so now I have to put a little bit more thought into it, try to find what I want, and
That's okay. He knows what I like, so it's all good. No flowers on Valentine's Day. Wait till like the week after. Prices will come back down.
Yeah. But we can't get those dead flowers. But anyhow,
no dead flowers. So before you know it, spring will be here. And it's just crazy how fast this year is going. How is your year going?
I mean, my year is amazing. How's your year going?
Amazing. Simply the best.
It's, I don't think I could be any more happy and filled with any more gratitude than I already am. Mm-hmm. Like from everything, just, we're not huge church people, but I'm right with God. Mm-hmm. I'm right with you, and everything's going great with clients and friends and health. Like, what else? What else do you want in life?
Exactly.
So, yeah, super, super excited about 2023. I think it's going to be the best year yet for everything.
Yes. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we started the show a little bit late today because I had a crazy morning.
So how'd the morning start? I heard that today there was an earthquake in the morning, mm-hmm. which, I mean, I was a little gassy. But that's the only earthquake I felt in our room. I didn't feel nothing else. That's what
woke me up.
Possibly.
Oh my gosh. I had dreams that I was in an earthquake. So maybe it was just your flatulence that made me think that.
Possibly.
Or the earthquake that happened off the coast of Malibu around 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah, no, there's no way. I was not awake at that time. You know what? I think I just went to sleep around 1. So at 2 a.m., I'm like dead to the world.
Right. Well, it says there was aftershocks around Sherman Oaks, too. Did anyone feel the earthquake last night? I'm curious to know.
All you people in the valley, get up and out of that fault zone, earthquake fault line, and come on up to Santa Clarita and buy a house with Silva Realty.
You're insane.
Just saying.
Oh my goodness. The kids always ask me about earthquakes, right? And because I remind them the big interchange where the 5 and the 14 is, how the freeway fell during the Northridge earthquake. And actually the anniversary of the Northridge earthquake just passed recently. Right. So I bring it up whenever it's around that time to the kids, and they want to know about earthquakes. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, we haven't had a really big earthquake in a while.
Just put it out in the universe, huh? So, if you had to choose your natural disasters, though, like California's it. All right, yeah, every now and then we had one serious, huge earthquake in our lifetime, right? We're 42, one serious earthquake. We have fires, some flooding, but overall, I'll take that any day of the week over
a tornado, a hurricane. No.
Yes.
Tsunami.
No. I'm happy here in California.
I'm good.
Yeah. Pay a little bit more for earthquake insurance. That's it.
Which we don't have, so.
We'd like to gamble. Let it ride. Just throw it on there.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyhow.
Well, if you've been watching the show lately, you'd know that Chris isn't feeling Tom Hanks at all lately. And I guess the Razzies agree with you.
See, I knew I wasn't the only one. So first, it started with Pinocchio. That was so weird. Mm-hmm. It was just the weirdest start to a Tom Hanks movie ever, right? The first 10 minutes, I'm like, what is happening? And it's like you're so embarrassed. Have you guys ever done this? When you're so embarrassed about what you're watching on TV that you just don't even want to watch because you feel embarrassed for the people that are on the tube.
Santino does that all the time.
Santino still does that, right? And then finally Santino's like, why are we still watching? Can we change this? I never want to watch Pinocchio again.
Ever. Just end it now.
It was the worst 10 minutes of a Disney movie, first 10 minutes of a Disney movie, I think, ever. And that voice, the accent that Tom Hanks had, I think when,
weird.
When you just become so rich, you just don't give any F's anymore. You're just like, I'll do whatever. I'm going to put out this cheesy accent and just, who cares? I could do what I want. I'm Tom Hanks. So then he followed that up. And we were talking about this like 2 shows ago about Elvis, right?
Right. Chris couldn't handle watching the movie because of Tom Hanks' voice.
I couldn't make it past the first 15 minutes. Like Tom Hanks' character, I was like, what is this guy doing? I think Tom Hanks might have been abducted by aliens, and the Tom Hanks that's on Earth is not really Tom Hanks.
Maybe. It's quite possible.
Something's going on because that guy's not right. That's
my goodness.
Anytime I see Tom Hanks on screen now, I'm just like, Bubba, no. I can't no more with him. So anyhow, the Razzies do agree.
Yeah, so every year the Oscars celebrate the best in movies and the Razzies celebrate the worst. And Tom Hanks was nominated for 3 Razzies this year. 3 of them. 1 for Pinocchio live action remake where he played Geppetto, which you agree, and twice for Elvis for worst supporting actor.
Dang. If you get nominated twice for the same movie, that's pretty bad.
What I don't understand is like he gets voted that for worst supporting actor, but that movie got awards.
Yeah, so in spite of Tom Hanks.
Right.
Right? Because if Tom Hanks wasn't in that movie, man, I might have finished that movie.
You might have.
I might have watched it. If he wasn't in Pinocchio, I might have watched Pinocchio.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have some comments here. Tanya said we will probably have a big earthquake sometime soon. Girl, why are you putting in that universe? Don't even say that. She's got the nervous smiles on there. Oh, no, I don't want a big earthquake. No, thank you.
No, natural disasters are not fun. It's scary. It's not a pleasant topic. And, speaking of not pleasant topics, we have had 3 mass shootings in the state of California to start off the year.
That's terrible.
This first month.
It's really sad. Condolences to all the families affected by that. It's awful.
It's terrible. And, do we feel safe in our communities? And I think you could speak on this, right? Because being in Santa Clarita, we've experienced our own gun violence, right?
Right.
Recently, we had an off-duty sheriff shoot himself in Mabel's, right? Sad situation. But we've also had mass shootings as well, right? At Saugus High School a few years back. And, it's sad that these are things that we have to think about regardless. I think even if it wasn't just in our backyard and you see this stuff on the news all the time, I can tell you there has been times that we were like, you know what, let's go to the concerts in the park. and we thought about going to, 'cause we've never actually been to concerts in the park.
Right.
And it was too soon. I think, like you brought it up, you're like, I don't want to be around all those people. Like, I don't really feel safe.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that's in the back of your mind now.
Right.
Excuse me. And it shouldn't be. It's terrible. Like, even I think during the holidays over in downtown Newhall, they have the whole Christmas celebration. And we were going to go. And I think at the very last minute, there was like a lot of stuff going on. I think there was like something at the mall happened, and there's just like a lot of violence happening. And I just said, I don't feel comfortable even going with all those people there.
We've had a lot of shootings here in Santa Cruz. Like, we're not used to this, right?
Right.
So we've had like incidents at Black and Blue Restaurant, right? We had a shooting at Macy's the other day, right? An officer involved shooting at Macy's. So we had a couple shootings in Canyon Country. So like we're not used to this, right? I think personally, I don't feel unsafe at these big events because it is Santa Cruz. And here's what I mean by that. Like, if you're in a crowd of like 15 people in Santa Cruz, chances are one of them are law enforcement, off duty.
Right.
Makes me feel a little bit safer, right? Just knowing, like, because if you're an off-duty police officer, you always have your weapon on you, right? So I feel a little bit safer there. Just at a big event, like there's probably going to be a ton of law enforcement there that's off duty. That they're on the lookout too. I think they're on high alert all the time as well, right? They never turn it off. So I don't know. It is sad that that's where everything's going. I don't know. It's definitely getting. It's not. We're nowhere near San Fernando Valley yet, I think. But San Fernando Valley used to be like the suburbs,
right?
And everybody would escape LA and move to San Fernando Valley. And then at some point, San Fernando Valley turned into LA. And now people are escaping San Fernando Valley and coming into Santa Clarita. But after that, there's like nowhere to go. Where are you going to go? Because, I mean, you're not going to Palmdale to escape Santa Clarita, right? So where are you going? Oxnard, maybe? I don't know. So we got to make it work.
Well, I think in general, the big question is, how is California feeling? Like in general, like, do people feel safe living here because of all the things that have been happening too? Like, I don't know. It's a tough subject. Ugh.
Yeah. So how about some cheery news? Let's switch it up a little bit.
I would much appreciate that because that was just not good. No bueno.
So this past Sunday, the 22nd, was Lunar New Year.
Happy Year of the Rabbit. The kids are super excited about Lunar New Year. They got little bunnies and they're all excited. Not real bunnies.
These bunnies are multiplying in our house too. These
we have so many
bunny
rabbits.
Stuffies, I'm like, they're everywhere. You know what's funny? So Mark Chang, a friend of the show, and he does like he's a producer somehow, some kind of director of like action stuff, and he's been posting these cool like robot looking futuristic bunnies.
Oh, nice.
For Lunar New Year, right? It's all over his social media feed, and I sent him a message. I'm like, that's the real Bad Bunny right there. Because he's got some like buff buddies,
yes.
Like with crazy weapons and stuff. Anyhow, it looks really cool. But I'm having fun with this. What about you?
Yes, I love any type of celebration dealing with New Year's, and then the Lunar New Year is awesome. So do you know what Chinese zodiac sign of the year you were born in? Like what it was?
Yeah, I know, but we were born the same year, so do you know?
I looked it up for you the other day. The year of the monkey, and our producer was born year of the tiger. How about you all? Do you know? I don't know if everyone really celebrates this as much, but I think this year we were more intrigued by it, right? The kids were interested, so we learned a little bit more about it. So I think it's cool. Anytime to celebrate life is amazing.
Absolutely. It's the kids, right? The kids get us, they ask so many questions, and then it leads us like, I don't know, let me find out.
So catching up with the Silvas. What's going on with us?
So are you going blind? Like what happened?
I'm not going blind. I did a routine eye checkup the other day, and it's fine. But you know what? They force you to go if you want to get new contacts. Because they're like, I have to make sure your prescription hasn't changed. I'm like, fine, I'll go. It was fine. Everything's the same. Nothing's changed.
Do you have to have a prescription when you drive? Is it on your license?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Can you believe I still don't have to do that? Well, now that I got my...
Well, because you never updated it when you applied for your new license.
Hey.
I was honest, and I put that, yes, I do need it. It's based on honesty.
You were honest? So...
They didn't check my eyes at the DMV.
Nah, girl. It wasn't based... No, it probably expired and you had to go back over there and take that test.
What are you talking about? No.
Wait, so you voluntarily said, excuse me, here's my eye exam. I think I need to have
Well,
glasses
when I
when I drive.
renew it, I think you have to check the box if you need glasses to see.
Really?
Or contacts, yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree.
Huh. Are you a donor?
No.
I'm a donor. I'm a giver.
Good. Good for you.
So Saturday, I was working, so
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help out and take care of our babies. I had to work. So Grandma and Papa stepped up, took care of them. So you can do what?
So I can go out with my friend Val to celebrate her birthday, and that was fun. We went to brunch. It's not too often that I get out and do adult things.
Especially during the day on a weekend? No way.
I know. It was crazy, but it was so much fun. I had a great time celebrating her. You got to celebrate the good people in your life, uplift them. It's her birthday. We had so much fun. Nothing but good vibes.
Where'd you
All
go?
her friends were awesome. Is this place in Studio City?
What was it called?
House
Do you remember?
6, I think.
House 6?
House
Something like that.
something with a 6 in it.
Party of 5?
No, not Party of 5.
No.
6 House Chow, I think is what it was called.
Ooh, you say that 5 times fast.
I know. It was good. It was
So
yummy.
what was the vibe there? Like, what's
it was
going
chill.
on?
It was cool.
So were you drinking wine, drinking mimosas? Like, what were you doing? It's a brunch. I know there's
I had a
liquor
Moscow
involved.
Mule.
Oh, you had to be extra off the menu.
What do you mean extra? It was on the menu. Extra order off the menu. No, they gave you some choices, and that's what I chose.
No, that's my drink of choice too.
Oh
But
my
so
gosh.
what was the atmosphere? Was it like what was that place we used to go to and you would do sake bombs and you pound the table?
No, it was not that. What was that place called?
That place was fun though.
Oh, I know everybody knows about it who's watching.
It's in NoHo district.
It's a sushi place, but
The food was terrible.
Was it
That's
karaoke they would do there? Or
no, they do like
were
a little show up there.
What was that place? Miyagi's. No.
No, Miyagi's something else. But anyhow, getting back to your brunch, like, so what was it that were you girls all quiet or were you girls
they had, like-
taking down drinks? Like, what were you doing?
No, I mean, we're grown. We're not crazy.
Well, what about the tables next to you?
Oh, okay. So, well, we had a good time. There's music, had some drinks or whatever. But, man, Chris is basically trying to find out if we're sloppy or not, right? Is that the question you're asking?
Yeah, spill the beans.
No, we weren't. Come on. We have, like, some self-respect. But some other people, middle of the day, wow. It was like Red Cup Sundays in there. The girls were falling over. This girl fell into a table in there. It was crazy.
She fell into a table.
It was a restaurant. I'm like,
Did like food and drinks go flying up in the air?
The table flipped over. Her friends had to help her up. I felt sorry for that girl.
Oh man.
It wasn't our friend.
Was she happy when she got up though? Like she's still smiling or
Well,
she still have a drink in her hand?
No, she wet her pants.
She wet her pants with like a drink.
No, she had sweats on and we saw her pee-pee mark on the back.
How do you know it was pee? Like maybe it would have been like
It was like round, like right where you sit down and it's like her pants were wet. Poor girl wet herself.
oh man, maybe she was just sweating down there.
That's a lot of sweat. That's disgusting. Oh, Zeph said Tokyo Delves, sake bomb,
Zeph came
sake
through.
bomb. That's what it was.
Delves.
Tokyo Delves.
Who remembers Tokyo Delves in North Hollywood? Is it still there?
I think it burnt down. Someone told me it burnt down.
So
That place, oh my gosh. So many people went there and I finally went there. I'm like, why do you want to come here? This food is weird.
all right, so
Want
what?
to eat that food?
Just some things you don't do when you eat sushi. You don't go there for the sushi. You go there
No,
for the
I didn't
for the
know that
atmosphere,
though. And
right?
the first time I went, I was like, oh wow. So this is why people like stumble out of here.
So yeah, I remember the person in the bathroom, the attendant that would sell you the gum. Well, he
Oh,
would
yeah.
sell it's free, and then you tip them, right?
Yes.
Didn't you have a drink with one of them?
That's how many sake bombs I had.
These are in our. This is like us in our 20s, right?
I'm a giver. I mean, I'm having a good time. Lady was working hard in the bathroom. I took a sake bomb in there for her.
Did you drink it?
Yes, she did. And she was so happy. Sometimes you just give them a shot and they're cool.
Man, that place was fun.
Yeah, it's permanently closed. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so Tokyo Delves is no more. Zeph, maybe we need to put some business partners together and bring it back.
I don't know about all that.
That play, you know what? It was the entertainment was funny, right? They would have the guys dancing up on the bar.
Yeah.
It was fun. It worked.
Jeff had a friend who worked there.
He was like the general manager or something.
Yes,
right?
I forgot his name. He was
But
funny.
it worked. That place was awesome for a lot of years. I think it
Yes.
had like a good 5-10 year run.
Yeah. The people change. People grew up.
Some of us do.
So Chris finally went back to checkmat. What? Chris is back into jiu-jitsu.
So were the kids, number one.
Well, the kids have been back, and Tino got MVP last week.
And you said you got to see him in class, right?
I was so excited. Yes. Shout out to Professor Lecca and Professor Art. I was asking to buy him a new gi because he's gotten so tall and his gis don't fit anymore. So I needed to get a new one.
His gis look like those capris, right? Where your whole ankle's showing.
Yes. I feel so bad. Like, how does he move in that thing? It's like Chris in his suits.
Oh. Let me tell you, so when I go down to tie my shoe, I'm like this, trying to tie my shoe because my suit's so tight.
Well, that's how Santino's been feeling in jiu-jitsu. So I was going to go buy a new gi, and Professor said, just come in, it's okay. And then, so I thought I was just going to go in and buy it, but she let me stay and watch.
Yes.
So excited. I haven't seen him fight in so long because I sit outside, and I stopped watching it remotely because everything's
really hard
so
to see
blurry.
It's blurry.
It just gets me mad, so I stopped watching it. But it was so fun to watch him fight. It was a lot of fun. He did so good. He got MVP. He was doing like takedowns, and they were doing submissions and stuff. Of course, they do like their practice moves where they learn it, and whatever move that they were learning that day, he actually applied it when he was doing his little mat exercises. So it was
nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Takedowns. It was fun.
So I've made it to class 2 days in a row, Monday and Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Monday, surprisingly, wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Right? I thought I was going to be dead. I was gassed for sure. But then Tuesday, I woke up and I wasn't that sore. Right? And I was like, if I can make it tonight, I'm going to go. So
and you went.
I made it last night. In class, I was really winded because the whole class was takedowns. It's hard as a 42-year-old man now to just get taken down, and you're voluntarily letting somebody take you down, right? And then you take them down, and you're just doing this over and over again. I was dead tired. By the time we got to sparring, I just had to conserve my energy and fight smart. But had a good time. I'm ready to go back. I'm going to try to make it on Friday morning. We'll see if it happens. So we'll see. But my goal is 2 to 3 times a week. 100 classes this year.
100, 2 to 3 times a week?
Yeah, if I went twice a week, that's 104 classes, right?
Right.
So,
but you just started now.
But I just started now.
So you're going to minus how many weeks?
Well, that's why you got to go more than twice a week for a while. Just has to make 100 at some point.
Okay, make your 100.
All right, I'm at number 2 right now.
Let's keep it 100.
Keep it 100. So, okay, so
oh boy,
week's been crazy. Yesterday, we got to stop by. We had a lot of houses closed while we were gone on vacation,
right?
Which was weird because it was like a 2-week stint, right? Mm-hmm. And then it was like right before Christmas, so we got to visit some of our clients and more than clients, friends over in Skyline.
It is so beautiful over there. You drive up; it's up on the hill. You have these magnificent views. Everything's green. The hills are all rolling green and beautiful, and they have views for days. So we get up to their house. I'm like, wow, their house is so beautiful.
It's really nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
And it's cool because they're starting to design it, right? Mm-hmm. Like they're taking their time, which is the right thing to do. When you buy a big old house, bigger, like twice as big as
anytime you buy a house, don't go crazy and just buy everything at once. Take your time.
Do a room at once. Do like one room at a time, because if not, like, it's not going to look right. The finished product won't look right. Take your time, do a room at a time. Trust me, it'll work.
So it was interesting to see as brand new, well, they're not first-time homeowners, but it's a brand new home, new construction. And it was interesting to see how their experience has been with their builder. Because, when we bought our first home, you put little tape marks everywhere where there's problems. They'll come out, they'll fix them and fine-tune the home to your liking.
Right.
And then once you move in, they say, okay, the next month we'll do another follow-up. And every builder's different. But for them, they weren't really experiencing the level of service that they were expecting purchasing a home that's over $1 million.
If you buy a $1.3 million house, you would expect the builder to make sure you're 100% satisfied when you get into the house. And if you're not, to fix whatever they got to fix, right. No questions asked. Mm-hmm. To make sure. So they had little things like there's like, a paint mark
right
in the doorway, right? It's like brown when the whole doorway is white. Paint that. You're the builder. Don't say, oh, it just needs to be touched up. You do it. No.
I think the biggest thing, and we only bring this up because, the podcast is about real estate and some experiences that people go through. They moved in when it was really cold, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that storm came in and it was super duper cold. So they moved in and the thermostat wouldn't work. Like, what is going on? How come it's not working? And they couldn't get a hold of anyone. They finally get in touch with someone. Turns out there's some switch they have to turn on in their attic, which who would ever even know that?
Right. And who has a ladder the first day they move into a house?
To get up in the attic. So they told him, just go ahead and get up in your attic and switch it on and it'll be fine. He goes, I don't have a ladder. I just moved into this house. Go to Target and get a space heater. Wait, what? And we'll reimburse you.
For the space heater.
I'm
Crazy.
just like, wow. It's just interesting to me how new home builders, they are bringing in huge profits, right?
Huge profits.
Where is the level of customer service and care for new owners? Like, it's mind-boggling to me.
So
that little piece
that
is
service
missing.
of care and taking care of somebody throughout the whole process, and then following up to make sure that they're still taken care of, and then always being available when they have. Not too many people do that anymore.
Right. It's challenging. But I think I know someone.
Well, we're like the last. Nah, there's probably some other agents, but we're a dying breed. There's
Right.
not too many of us left.
Right.
Which, leads me to, is everyone caught up with Last of Us? Who's watching that out there?
I don't even know. Does anyone even into that show?
It's
We
a new
started
show.
watching it.
It's a new show on HBO. It's based off a video game. I'm not a gamer, so I've never played it, never heard of it till the show. The actor on there, if you guys remember Game of Thrones, he was from like the Sand region. He was like this crazy warrior, Martell, I think his name was. Anyhow,
Heck if I know. I don't know.
That was his first time on HBO.
Okay.
And now he has his own show, right? So it's him, and then it's also the same little girl, the Mormont girl,
Right.
who was also on Game of Thrones. So it's like their reunion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can see their on-camera chemistry.
Right.
It's pretty cool. So the second episode of the new show on HBO premiered. Pedro Pascal, that's his name. So Pedro Pascal. Yeah, he's also, he's the Mandalorian as well.
Wait, what?
Pedro's balling, huh? They got it. I want to make the new shirt. Remember Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes.
And it said vote for Pedro? We got to put his face on one of those. And
You're too much.
Vote for Pedro for president.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, this show, it's on HBO Max and it's based on a hit video game, which I had no idea when we first started watching it. I think Chris thought I would not want to watch it had he prefaced that in the beginning, but it's a pretty good show.
I was right. She wouldn't want to watch it. If I would have mentioned that, there's no way I would have got her to watch 5 minutes of the first episode.
Well, it turns out that some of the game fans are not happy with the changes to the show. Does that even matter? I don't even know because I've never played the game.
Well, let's talk about a video game movie, right? Do you remember Street Fighter when that came out?
No, I played the game, but why would I watch that movie?
Okay.
Doesn't sound like anything.
What about
I'd be
Mortal
interested-
Kombat?
Yeah, I never watched the movie, but I played the game.
These are like some of the worst movies ever created, right? Remember Van Damme?
Yes.
So he can't get rid of that accent. That accent is with him in every single movie.
Right.
He played an American hero in Street Fighter with that accent.
Yeah, makes zero sense.
Yeah, anyhow, the point is when you stay too much on script to the exact game, the movies are going to be terrible. They're video games. They're not movies, right?
Right.
So you got to change it up a
It's
little
like
bit.
a video game inspiration. It's not going to be exact, right?
Calm down, gamers.
Well,
calm down.
Gaming has come a long way from when we were young. So that's probably why. It's
I'm
like so much more realistic
I'm probably
now.
going to piss off a lot of people right now.
Uh-oh.
But the gamers that play this game shouldn't even be watching the show. They shouldn't be old enough to watch the show because gaming is for kids. Sorry. Yeah, I said it. If you're over 18 still playing video games, you better be playing them with your kids. Because if you're playing by yourself, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my goodness. I don't really have an opinion on any of that. I could care less.
I think you would though. If you came home and I'm playing video games, I got the headset on. I'm like, shh.
And you
playing.
have like the gamer chair.
I have the gamer chair, and you're like trying to talk to me, and I'm like, I'm busy. I'm busy killing these guys with my team here and blah. You would look at me in a different light.
Yeah, I would not look at you anymore. You'd be gone out that house.
I'm telling you. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
So speaking of Pedro Pascal, season 3 of Mandalorian is coming soon. Ooh, Tino's going to be excited about that, huh?
He was excited when we saw the trailer, but like they keep releasing first it was snippets of the trailer, now the whole trailer's out. He's like, I already saw that, Dad.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry.
Dang, attitude.
There's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming out.
Yes.
Like Mandalorian's going to be cool. I don't know where they're going to go with it now because now he's not a Mandalorian anymore. Officially, we'll talk about that on the show, but
I don't know. I'm lost.
Yeah, well,
all I know is that now there's a Mandalorian at Disneyland with a cute little Grogu that's animated and moves, so you could say hi to him.
All right, well,
I'm excited to meet him.
You want to take
person.
a picture? That's where you went with this. All right.
Yes, of course. I don't really care about anything else. I'm just going to Disneyland.
There's a ton of those shows coming out. So is anybody watching that 1923 show? It's a spin-off of the Yellowstone with Harrison Ford.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
And Helen Mirren. I know who she is. Man, I wonder if maybe it's about the grandparents or something. I don't know, because both of those actors are old. Like they're doing like those. I think Harrison Ford had one of those commercials, for Depends for Men.
You're stupid. Stop.
He's getting up there in age.
Just stop.
Yeah.
This coming from the guy, I don't know if any of you guys that are around Chris's age get these in the mail, but he actually gets solicitations from a hearing aid company. He's been getting it for 2 or 3 years.
What was that?
Oh my gosh. I'm like, don't be bagging on old people because you old. You're getting up there.
Yeah, so he's coming back out. Harrison Ford has a new Indiana Jones.
No,
they're going to have to call it Indiana Bones because they're going to... I want to see, what was that little guy, his little name, the kid that was in Goonies, and then he was...
Zeta. No.
Data in Goonies.
Data on Goonies.
But what's his name in the original Indiana Jones? It's the second Indiana Jones. It's not the Crusade. Short Round.
That was his name?
Short Round, yeah.
Okay.
So I am way more interested in seeing Short Round come out with his own movie, and he can like reference Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I don't want to see Harrison Ford.
I learned all this cool stuff from my mentor Indiana Jones, and in this movie Short Round, Indiana Jones died like 100 years ago because that guy's old. So I don't want to see Indiana Jones. That's crazy. You gotta leave these movies alone at some point.
So our producer just let us know that Short Round has been nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Everywhere All at Once.
Everywhere All at Once. What is that? Is that a TV show?
He's a Golden Globe winner now. Well, there you go. So he's doing big things. Go ahead.
That's great.
There was a reason why Goonies was my favorite movie.
Goonies is one of the best movies of all time.
It's got all the good people in it.
Favorite movie of all time, right?
That
is it
and
that
Grease,
or Grease?
Both of them.
Oh, you can't pick, huh? They're like your kids?
Yeah.
Like, I love them the same.
Yes, exactly. For 2 total different reasons. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Cool.
Short Round's grown up. All right.
Oh my goodness. So speaking of shows, I know we're just like on the show kick right now. Not like we really have time to watch anything, but at the end of the day when we're super tired, somehow we just push through and watch shows like Tulsa King.
So
Has anybody seen this?
We stumbled upon Tulsa King because we were up late. We're like going over some stuff, and we just kind of wanted something in the background.
I think we worked till 2 that morning.
It was a late night, and I was like, "What is this Tulsa King?" And then we saw it's a Taylor Sheridan show, which is the same guy who's produced Yellowstone and all the spinoffs, right? And it's Sly. Like Corey hates Sylvester Stallone.
I hate Sylvester Stallone. I hate watching Rocky because my parents watched it all the time when I was growing up, and I hated what was the other one? Rambo. Oh my gosh, Rambo and Rocky. I'm like, I can't watch him anymore. He's just too much. But he's going through, and I go, oh, Sylvester looks kind of good. Put that on.
That old
he looks
fox.
handsome.
That old silver fox.
That old silver fox. Put him on. I know he's had some work done, but he's still handsome.
So I don't know how old Sylvester Stallone is in real life.
In the show, he's 70
In the show, he's 75 because he sleeps with some woman.
You don't have to give the whole show out.
How's that given? He's a good-looking guy. He's going to sleep with some women on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's young.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sleeps with a woman who gets like recently divorced, and it's her first time supposedly
Yeah, right.
You know, there's like, what is it for women? It's like times 5 rule. Like,
I don't know.
If a woman says they slept with one person, they slept with 5. I don't know.
That's
Anyhow.
none of my business or concern, and it shouldn't be anybody else's either.
Damn!
I'm serious. Shoot, don't be judging.
Anyhow.
He's 76 in real
So
life.
it's pretty spot on. So
Yes.
probably when he shot the show, he probably was 75.
Probably.
So anyhow, the reason I brought this up is she's telling him, like, this is my first time with anybody since I've been divorced.
Right.
She's like, how old are you? He's like 75. She's like, she almost lost it. She was so disappointed in herself that she slept with a 75-year-old man.
That's funny.
But he's a stud in that show.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
It's a good show. It's good. It's got some funny parts in it.
It's got a little bit of mafia. It's got some comedy. We like HBO.
Right.
We watch
There's a lot of shows,
A lot
like
of the shows we've
Silicon
seen over the
Valley,
years.
the one
were
guy's
HBO.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy from Silicon Valley who was
Yeah.
like the funny guy with the beard and the glasses. He plays the same role in every show that he's in. He's in
very
that show.
typecast, right?
Yeah, he's typecast for sure. Like, don't lose that beard.
Yeah.
You'll never work in this town again.
Keep those glasses on.
It's a good show. So if you guys have a chance, you want something lighthearted, like you want to just laugh, right, and be entertained a little bit.
Watch it.
It's not a deep show, but it was entertaining.
Yes, for sure.
I like it. It's my new like guilty pleasure right now.
Yeah.
Tulsa King.
Okay, so switching things up just a little bit, how are things going in the real estate market?
Wow. So
Why, wow.
because I don't know if anybody saw, we posted our listing on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere on social media, right? And so we have graduated to having trolls, right, on our posts, which I think is awesome. Like,
It's fun.
Once you start having trolls, and I'm into fantasy, right? So I love trolls, stories about trolls. So everybody the market's crashing. Why would you buy a house right now? The market's crashing. You can get that house for so it's listed at $725, our listing, $724,900. Oh, if you just wait 2 years, you'll get that house for $400,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay, buddy. So anyhow, there's a lot of that going around, and it's usually people that don't own a home, that might have lost their home in the past,
Right.
right? It's bitter people,
Right.
right? I'm sorry to say, but this goes to anything in life. When somebody is trolling you or talking bad about you, it's because they're not on your level. They just want to be on your level, right?
It's because they're not happy with themselves, right?
But they're not happy with themselves. What I'm saying is like if a woman was to post a picture of herself and some stranger comments like, "Ugh, what's up with that hairdo?"
Oh, that'd be horrible.
But it's the
Yeah,
same
they're
thing. You're
hating.
being critical of somebody's
Yes, for sure.
what somebody has on there. That woman's not happy with her hairdo, right?
Right.
She wants to have that hair. That's my point, right? Anyhow, so we had some trolls on there talking about how the market's going to crash. If you buy a house, you're an idiot, basically, right?
Right.
But December was the busiest December we ever had. January is kicking off to be the busiest January we've ever had. I came from the elite meeting. All the agents are super busy, making multiple offers. I talked to another agent. He said he had a right in River Village, which is 1.2 to get into River Village, guys.
Right.
He had to write $25,000 over asking because there was multiple offers. He knew the agent, so we got his client in.
Right.
But that's what's happening. We have an offer out right now. It was on the market for 65 days, 70 days. But it was on higher. It was on at 924. We're down to 820, 821. And we got multiple offers now too.
Yes.
So we're hoping we get our offer accepted. But
I hope
that's
so.
what's happening. We got our client in escrow a couple days ago. Multiple offers. I knew the agent. We got him in. So we're having multiple offers in January, guys.
What does that tell you? That tells you that there's a lot of buyers in the market. The
market's going to crash.
The buyers who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for this market to crash are like, yeah, I don't think it's going to crash. It's time for us to get a home. Let's go take a look at some properties. And I think now people are like, whoa, it's really, the market's not changing. We need to be serious about our offers. If you really love a home, make an offer, a good offer on a home to make it your own.
Right. There's people out there that have been saying the market's going to crash for 5 years. You know how much money they lost in 5 years waiting for this market to crash?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. There's people like that out there everywhere, right? And they're still waiting.
Right.
So I just want to tell you guys what's really happening in the market because I don't think anybody's talking about it. I can't speak to the whole nation. I'm talking about, let's just Bring it all the way down to Santa Clarita.
Right.
Okay, just Santa Clarita market is what we're talking about. Most of the people that live up here that are potential sellers have a ton of equity in their home.
Right.
If they have not already paid off their home, their interest rate is 3.5% and below.
Right. Because they took advantage of the low interest rates
Because
during the refi.
first of all, they're homeowners. They're a little bit savvier than a lot, right? They at least know that part of investing.
Right.
So they know when the rates are low, you got to refinance, take advantage of that lower rate.
Absolutely.
So now you have these sellers that are sitting in a home with a ton of equity. So now we have no inventory. Because if they sell that house and buy a new house, they're going to get into a 6% rate. Double.
Who wants to do that?
Some people still do.
Right.
Right. But what we're seeing happen a lot right now, guys, is not only are they not putting their house on the market, so you can't buy that house if you're a buyer, but on top of that, they're saying, you know what? We still want a new house. So we're going to keep this house and we're going to go buy a new house. And when that new house, you know, the interest rates drop, then we'll refinance that new house because they know how it works.
Yeah.
So no inventory. Now you're competing against people that already own homes.
Right.
So it's going to get tough again for buyers. I'm seeing it already.
Correct.
It hasn't really taken off yet where it's a completely seller's market. Like our buyers were still getting closing costs and stuff.
Yes.
But my last couple buyers, these last couple that we're working on, multiple offers. You can't even ask for closing costs on these last couple.
Yeah.
So if that's happening in January, what do you think is going to happen in spring and summer?
Yes.
So if you can get into a house.
Get in now. And Julia said, fun. The year is really taking off and the rate of price decreases is declining according to stats. Thank you for sharing that with us, Julia, and for joining us on our show. We really appreciate you. Julia does title, so she knows, she's seeing the statistics on what's happening in the market as well.
She's at First American Title, which is like one of the biggest title companies in the United States.
Yes.
She knows what she's talking about. So she's saying that price decreases, the rate of price decreases. That means a seller dropping the price of their home has slowed down big time.
Yes.
Right? And I also read something today that loan applications are up 25%.
Wow.
So people are jumping in.
Yes.
They're not, oh my gosh, the market's, it's not happening right now. It's just not going to happen. I get that out of your system. If that's what you think,
Right.
go sign a lease then. Sign a lease, come back when you're ready because it's I just feel bad because I want to like, come on. It's not like that. You deserve to be a homeowner. Why are you doing this to yourself? Like I want to put my arm around these people. I feel so bad for them.
You got this.
Just throwing their money away on rent. It's terrible. Like you're not even in the game of investing until you own a home. Anyhow, I could talk about that till my face turns white.
Well, Chris and I are similar situation. A lot of buyers out there, right? With
Sure.
the limited inventory, we're on the hunt for our next home. And we're just sitting there looking at what's coming on the market. We have our ear to the ground, and it's just slim pickings in Stevenson Ranch. Not many things come on. And when they do, they're a bit overpriced. And I get excited. I'm like, well, let's just go in and offer lower. It's like, I'm not going to do that.
I don't have
Who are
time
you?
for all that. What are
Who
you talking about?
Are you an agent? I'm like, no, I know, but it's overpriced. Like maybe we write an offer now. That's realistic. Before they drop the price. How about that house I told you
So
we need
she's
to
got
go
this
look
house. There's this house, guys, on Chase. You can look it up in Stevenson Ranch,
What are you
right?
talking about? I don't want that house.
There was a house right there that was on the market for like 125 or something, and you're like, that house is worth $1 million. And you wanted to go look at it, and it's like $250,000 overpriced. I'm not going to look at it. It's one thing if the house was $2 million and $250 overpriced. It's 1.25 and 250 overpriced, 25% overpriced. I'm not going to look at that house. I can't even waste my time with the seller or an agent that's stupid enough to take that listing, right? Like I just can't. So just keep it moving. Just pay attention to some stuff that's more realistic. That's all.
Are you done?
These sellers get me hot. These sellers that take these listings.
You need to chill for a second. And get
I'm gonna chill out with
this
this juicing up
yeah,
right here.
getting all crazy with me. That's not how it went down, by the way.
Not with you.
Yes, you're like, oh, crazy
I'm talking
about it.
No, not you, baby. These sellers and these agents that think that they can list their house for $250,000 more. That's what I'm hot about. I'm not hot about you, baby. Well, sometimes I
Anyways.
get hot about you. Ow!
Calm him down. So we're at the point now because there's very limited inventory and we know exactly what we want. We know we want a view.
4 bedrooms.
We know we need at least 4 bedrooms.
3 baths.
And we know we need a pool because that's a huge plus. It's going to be hot soon. And I'm going to be complaining about how hot it is.
You're ready for that pool. The kids are ready for that pool.
So now Chris has gone as far as just looking at the plat map, writing down everyone's address and seeing who has a pool, who has a view, writing down their names, their address. And we're going to send out a mailer to try to see if we could get someone to consider letting us buy their home.
The trick is we have to do it until we buy a home. So we got to do it for a year. We got to send out something every single week.
We have clients too who
we have 3 clients looking at Stevenson Ranch.
They're looking in that area, and I ran into one of the moms the other day, and I told her, and she's like, "Really, you can do that?" I'm like, "We can do that for you. Let's make it happen."
I forgot about them too. Well, because you just had the initial conversation, so that's going to be 4 people looking out there.
So Julia, Parasol, yes, I've had my eye on that one. It's been on the market for a while, and they have a new agent now. I saw, and they actually took nice pictures of Parasol. She's talking about a listing
over
in her
in Southern
neighborhood.
Oaks in Stevenson Ranch. So here's the problem with that listing. It was on the market for $1,699, right? It dropped $300,000. Got a reputable agent.
Right.
So they got a good agent. They have good pictures. They're priced right now.
Yes.
But to have that initial like $300,000 drop, I don't think it's going to come down much more. And it's not the house. It doesn't have a view, number one.
Yes. It just doesn't have rear neighbors, but Chris wants a view.
It's in a great neighborhood. I love the neighborhood. Obviously, we've loved Southern Oaks for so many years. But a view is so critical because we've had one for so long. I can't look out my office of our window and not see mountains. If I have to look at somebody else's house the whole time, it's not going to put me in the same workspace.
You're going to have a peekaboo mountain view. You won't have a valley view there.
No, I want a valley view. I want to see city lights. I'm sorry.
This guy. So how are we going to get that for the price range you want to stay within?
I'm going to figure it out.
He wants city views and lights. Okay.
I mean, look, it doesn't have to.
And we're in a market that's increasing.
It doesn't have to be better than our view.
Right.
Right? Our view is not like amazing, but it's a view nonetheless.
Yes.
Treetops, city lights, mountains. I want that. I need that. I can't lose that. Sorry. And I'm going to pay more money than I'm paying now and not have that? How does that make sense?
Well, you are going to be living in a house that has more space.
So? I like cozy spaces. I get to be all close to you. We're on top of it. I get to see my kids because their room's right there.
I know. They're always in our room anyways.
Yeah.
Sleeping in our bed. So Julia said the cul-de-sac is so fun for kids and the neighbors make their own beer. I love how Julia's totally selling this listing.
So right now, Julia, we live on a cul-de-sac. As you know, you've been to our house and our neighbor makes beer.
Our neighbor does make beer.
So see, these are things that I have to have. I already have them. So I can, you know what I mean?
Goodness.
So like, it's not really an upgrade if you already have it, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for sharing that, Julia. Maybe we'll have one of our other clients go take a look at it who's in that price range.
They're not. Right now, our top price range in the area is 1.3 really.
1.3. Okay. So let's see. Will the neighbors want to attach Christmas lights from their house to fulfill Chris's holiday dreams?
You know what's so funny? Imagine like we get into escrow and I'm like, just letting you guys, let the agent know like, the only way this is going to work is if all the neighbors agree to string the lights across.
Can you imagine a buyer like that? Oh my gosh, I would die.
We should hire an out of area agent that doesn't know us, right? To show us homes and then just do all these funny things. That'd be great. Prank.
Who has time for that?
If we make a show about it.
And that's evil. No, too much bad karma would come back. Well, what are you thinking?
There's some agents that deserve this evilness.
Gosh.
Anyhow,
please don't even put out that bad juju. I don't even want it coming back.
This is what happens when all you had is coffee and sugar.
Oh my gosh. His mind is going somewhere. I don't know.
I don't know what's happening right now.
I don't know what's happening either. Okay, let's reel you back in. So the open house at our listing in Santa Clarita on Santa Clarita Road, how did that go over the weekend?
So it went really well. We had about 25 people come through.
Wow.
That's a lot. 2 days.
That's good.
But that's a lot. That's really good for a new listing.
Right.
Listings are taking on average 31 days to sell. Now, we did have one listing that took a long time last year. It was Daro, but there was
Yes.
that was special circumstances. If you take that listing out of all our listings from last year, our average days on market to sell a home was only 11 days.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I think you need to break it down with Darrow because it did go into escrow 3 times. It did sell 3 times.
The problem with Daro is we were going into escrow. It was a historic rate increase
Yes,
in interest
there's
rates.
a lot of challenges.
Buyers were not locking their rates. Then it jumps up, and your payment that you were thinking you were going to make on a house goes up like $400 or $500.
Yes.
While you're in escrow, you didn't lock. Now you're like, I don't want the house anymore.
Or a buyer lost their job. There was
A
like
buyer lost his job.
3 different
It was
circumstances.
crazy, but
But that's huge. 11 days average on market.
I didn't know until we had an appointment last week, which, you know what, we'll get into that right now as well. We got into an appointment last week, had a listing appointment. It's funny because I think every realtor is so different, you guys. We're not all the same,
Right.
I think our friends / clients thought, they're going to come sell me a house.
Right.
Right? Hey, Avashi.
Hi, Arvashi. Thanks for joining us. We get to see her next week.
Yes. Happy belated birthday to
No.
CJ.
To CJ, yeah.
Yeah, her husband. So, anyhow, I go in there, totally different approach. I'm not going to sell somebody's house, right? I want specifically our clients that we stop by. They want to buy another house. They're thinking about selling their house to buy another house. And I said, well, let's look at all your options. So I come ready with options. Here's what you would get for your house. Here's what the payment would be if you sold your house, took the proceeds, bought another house.
Right.
But you have the option that you can rent your house and still qualify for a house, right?
Absolutely.
So we go through all those options. We take a different approach. We love to educate our clients, give you all of the information, and we trust you to make the best decision for your family.
Right.
Why does any agent think they should make the decision for their client
Right.
by just trying to pigeonhole them into selling that property?
Right.
Right. And so that's not what we do.
No.
We try to figure out help our friends figure out what's best for them and their family. And sometimes, yes, it does mean selling their home.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't. Most agents won't tell you that because we make a living off selling houses. But we're not in it for a quick sale. We want to be your agents and your friends for the rest of your life.
Right.
So we're not trying to hurry up and get you to sell right now or buy right now.
No, there's no
We're trying to
rush.
guide you. Like I had a text conversation today, and almost family, known this girl her whole life, but she was like, I don't think I'm going to be ready to buy this year, probably next year. Still, fill out the loan application. Let's make sure your credit's good next year. You got your 740 FICO. We have you in the right place so that when 2024 comes around,
You have
you're
a
ready.
plan.
You have a
Yeah.
plan. Yeah. So
You're not starting from scratch.
not starting from scratch. So what do we have coming up?
What do we have coming up? Oh my goodness. It's been very busy. Let's see. We have Jiu-Jitsu tomorrow coming up. We have Disneyland on Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Open house on Saturday.
Open house on Saturday. But let me get back to Disneyland. So Toontown is opening.
What?
Yay! They're open on the 27th. So we'll miss it by 2 days.
We're not going
The
to be
grand
there.
opening. No, we will be there.
It's already going to be open when we get there.
Yeah, 2 days later we'll be
All
there.
right.
So,
Ooh,
but I did hear.
We'll see if the Roger Rabbit's still there. We'll take a
Chris
video.
is so worried about Roger Rabbit. But I heard they're going to have a queue system in order to ride that ride. So I'm going to have to wake up or
Like
set
how
an
they had Star
alarm
Wars before?
and try to get on the virtual queue to make sure we get in on the ride. So that should be interesting. I hope they don't.
Make it happen, girl.
I need to make it happen.
It's going to be tough because Saturday, family dinner. Brothers, they haven't been there in a while. So it's probably going to be a late night.
Right.
And then we got to get up Sunday and go to Disneyland.
Right. That's okay. We can
It's
make
be a
it
little
happen.
kooky.
It's going to be fun. Speaking of family dinner, we just had family dinner and poor Nola got injured at Grandma and Papa's house last week. Poor
boy.
thing. Thank goodness she's okay. But yes, so coming up, family dinner, Disneyland. What else?
We have a lead awards tomorrow.
Okay.
I might be on a call, which I didn't get to talk about this show. I'll talk about the next show, on a board of directors call for Bridge to Home. We might exploring possibly joining the board over there to help
Yes,
them
yes,
out.
yes, yes.
Talk about that next show. We're What else we got?
And then we have a birthday party to go to next week for Urvashi, which I'm excited about.
Ooh, ooh.
Happy early birthday. That is going to be a lot of fun. And
We have our client buying a home on Friday. Signed loan docs today. Should fund tomorrow. Should get keys on Friday.
Oh, I'm excited.
Busy week.
I think there's a lot of other stuff that it's blown my mind because I've been so busy today and I'm on the go running from thing to thing. Hence this attire. But yeah, it's crazy.
And today, before we got here, I went to go look at a new space. Mm-hmm. The podcast might have a new show, guys.
Yay. A new show or a new home?
A new home.
Oh, okay. Still going to be on the same channel. You'll still be able to catch us here, but it might look a little different. So, wow, we're going to have our work cut out for us.
We might be changing the show a little bit too, like to bring on guests and stuff.
What do you all think? Do you think we should bring on guests? If so, what type of guests would you be interested in seeing? We always appreciate your feedback and want to make the show fun and exciting and fresh. So please let us know in the comments or even just reach out to us and let us know. We would love that.
Big shout out to Christian Lazor. He says, yo.
Yo, Christian.
Christian's at Monarch Title. We also do, which I forgot to talk about on the show because it's fast this time. We'll talk about it next week. He also mentors the kids with me over at Golden Valley High School.
Yes, Chris got to do that this past week. It looks like Urvashi's excited about her birthday because she said yay.
Yay.
So, yes, we have a lot of new exciting things going on, and we're going to be super busy.
We'll talk about it all next week. Hopefully we have a whole show next week. Right, we'll start at 12, if barring any setbacks.
Hopefully there's no setbacks.
And we'll see you guys next week. That's going to be our show, right, babe?
Yes, that's going to be our show. Thank you again for hanging out with us here on R&R, Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to catch us here weekly on Facebook Live at noon. We're your hosts, Corey and Chris Silva, and we'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.